Powering the 21st century, Africa's minerals. Global influence in Burkina Faso's EV leaps in Africa today. A new race is underway, not for land, but for the minerals that will power the future. From cobalt to copper and rare earths, global powers are competing for access. Europe says it wants a new kind of partnership, ethical, fair, and focused on local development. But African leaders and civil society are asking a deeper question. Is this truly fair, or just history repeating itself? A century ago, colonial railways were built across Central Africa to extract resources, not to uplift communities. Today, that same route through Zambia, Congo, and Angola is being revived with US and EU funds. Europe just approved another major investment for the Lobito Corridor, calling it a model for cooperation. EU leaders say this time Africa must benefit, as Angola marks 50 years of independence. But on the ground, researchers say the promise hasn't matched reality. Local activists argue the projects still prioritize exports over African development. Some call it a new scramble, behind modern language and clean branding. Meanwhile, China has a decades-long head start in African mining and processing. With no colonial baggage, Beijing secured access early and now dominates global mineral processing. Europe is racing to reduce its dependence on China, but still struggles to compete in Africa. The US has also stepped up, striking security deals and investing heavily in resource-rich regions. Washington now rivals Beijing in several sectors, especially around the DR-Rwanda corridor. After years of treating Africa as a risky market, Europe is trying to catch up, fast. But there's disagreement on what value addition really means. African leaders want full supply chains, mining, processing, and manufacturing on the continent. Europe mostly wants minerals refined locally, then shipped to Europe for final production. This difference fuels mistrust about who truly benefits. Europe also claims ethical and environmental standards set it apart. But EU rules requiring companies to monitor human rights abuses are struggling to pass. Independent assessments show inconsistent protections in EU-supported mining projects. Meanwhile, African governments, and even Chinese companies, are adopting stronger sustainability standards. For Europe to stand out, it must show real benefits for communities, not just promises. The mineral race is more than economics. It shapes energy, AI, and global security. Africa sees a chance to redefine its future, but also a risk of becoming a battleground again. Whether Europe can deliver a true partnership remains an open question. In West Africa, another major story is unfolding, one driven by innovation, not competition. Burkina Faso, often known for instability, is now making headlines for a stunning industrial leap. The country has launched its first locally assembled electric cars, powered partly by the sun. The brand is called Itaoua, named after a village near the capital, Ouagadougou. Under President Ibrahim Itaoua has become a national symbol of pride and resilience. Its logo, a horse, represents endurance and strength. Production began in January 2025, starting with 2 entry models. Soon after came more advanced vehicles, including a pickup truck. Director General Abdoulatif Ruamba says the mission is simple: affordable, clean transportation for all. He calls every Itaoua vehicle a direct contribution to protecting the environment. The assembly plant sits in Ouaga 2000, supported by Chinese technical training. Burkina engineers learn directly inside Chinese factories. The partnership is part of wider BRICS cooperation, described as win-win, not exploitative. For now, the cars are assembled locally, but full Burkina designs are planned. The most popular model is the Sahel, a compact EV with solar charging capacity. A full charge costs only a few dollars, far cheaper than gasoline. The Sahel can drive up to 330 kilometers on one charge. It can recharge in about 30 minutes using fast chargers. Salesman Sheikh Omar Koni says the cars solve real mobility challenges. They reduce fuel dependency and cut transportation costs dramatically. The government has already introduced Itaoua electric taxis in the capital. Around 30 are currently operating. Plans are underway to expand the fleet to over 100. Ride-hailing companies are adopting fully electric vehicles for their services. This challenges the outdated imported taxis, known as France au revoir. Ruamba says the goal is to help drivers access new, efficient vehicles. Electric cars cost less to operate and maintain than old fuel-powered imports. The EV rollout is part of a bigger strategy. Burkina Faso wants to create jobs, strengthen energy independence, and build a new industry. It aims to reduce reliance on imported fuel and support youth employment. Kony says public trust is growing quickly. Cars are being purchased by government agencies, private buyers, and taxi companies. The country is changing, he says. Idawa's ambitions reach beyond Burkina Faso. The company aims to expand into West Africa, then across the continent, and eventually into global markets in Europe, the Americas, and Asia. For a nation often defined by crisis, Idaho represents hope and innovation. Burkina Faso is not just assembling cars, it's assembling a new identity. This is Africa rewriting its industrial future in real time. And it begins in the heart of the Sahel. I'm Sal Pierre, reporting for VlogND. Thank you for watching and supporting our work. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribing helps us bring you more stories that matter. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.